Hello. WWE Draft on Monday. So today technically is Easter Sunday. So if you see the video today, happy Easter. But the WWE Draft is on Monday night, and we're in an awkward position from when Edge decided to retire because of his neck issues, and now the world title's vacant. We'll have a new world champion by the pay-per-view, but we do not have a lead face on SmackDown. So the draft has been brought forward from, I think it was originally set to take place in June, and they were going to do 2 3-hour Raws. I'm not sure if they were back to back, but 2 3-hour Raws. You're going to do, they were going to have King of the Ring, and they were going to have the draft. So there was I hope they're still having King of the Ring, but they've got a 3-hour Raw slot open, so who knows what they can do there, if they're even going to still do that 3-hour Raw. But yeah, I think they had to move the draft forward and do it now, because if they'd have if they'd have waited longer, they could have gotten themselves into a position where SmackDown was in a rut because they didn't have a real headliner, a real draw. And I think that's always a problem with SmackDown, because it's always thought of as a lesser show. And without a lead draw, the only real draw on SmackDown you've got in terms of main event now is the Undertaker, because I think Rey Mysterio's never been thought of as a true main event, or not in WWE, not anywhere really. I mean, he's former world champion, but the world title's always been the secondary title. Well, from when John Cena went back to Raw, went over to Raw. From then, it's always been thought of as a secondary title. So Rey Mysterio was effectively a secondary world champion, and he's not a heavyweight. So, but I think that the issue with putting Mysterio as the face of the company is that he's a small man. He's not got the. I don't think he's got quite the crowd support that he used to either. I think the fans are. It's just. I'm not sure if Rey Mysterio is as big a draw as he used to be. He's still definitely one of the most marketable stars in the company, if not the most marketable star. But he's not the face of SmackDown, and nor should he be. So the issue here is who comes over from Raw to be the new face of SmackDown, and that is a big problem for WWE. And with Edge gone, it's something that they've really got to think hard about. I think they probably had an idea of what they were going to do, but they thought they had more time to do it. Looking at the Raw roster, thinking about it, look at the top faces on Raw, guys that you could have come over and effectively take that slot as the face of SmackDown, and it needs to be a face. You've got John Cena, which I really doubt is going to happen. You've got Triple H. You've got Randy Orton, and you've got John Morrison. Faces. I think that's it really. From main event level faces that you could have as a draw, in a sense, that could be the face of the brand. That those may be Morrison's only Morrison at a push, and mainly because it's the B brand. I think Morrison could probably just slip by. But as far as if it's down to me, and this is what I think WWE probably should do, it should be either Triple H or Randy Orton. Triple H has been he's the one that's been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between the brand. He has been on SmackDown more recently than Orton, and at the same time, it sort of feels like Raw has been his show. You don't know how that works, but it just doesn't feel like he's been on SmackDown as recently as he actually has. Whereas you look at Randy Orton, who's been on Raw since he was drafted in, I can't remember what year it was. It was a while ago now. Might have been after WrestleMania 23? 24? After WrestleMania 23 maybe, I'm not sure. But I think, yeah, I think it was after WrestleMania 23. I can't really recall. I know he was the WWE champion. What did he do at WrestleMania? He was on... No, it was before, because he had the whole rated RKO thing. Maybe it was after WrestleMania 22. I don't think it was. Because he had the whole thing with Kurt Angle, and was he still on SmackDown? No, I think it was between 22 and 23. I think it might have been after 22, but I'm not sure. Well, I know it was after 22, but I'm not sure whether it was just after or whether it was further down the line. But pretty much since between 22 and 23, since he was drafted, all the way up to now, he's been on Raw the whole time. The whole time. That's what, effectively 4 or 5 years. 4 or 5 years on the same brand. It's getting a little bit samey by now. John Cena's obviously been on for longer, but he's the face of the company. And I think he's spent more time on the sidelines than Orton has. Orton has always been at the top of Raw. He's always been one of the two big draws. Always been in one of the two big drawing feuds. You have the world title feud, you have the WWE title feud, and then you'd have the secondary feud. And he would always be in one of those two feuds. He would never go below semi-main. But I think that's the guy that they need to take, in my opinion. That's what I would do. I would take Orton. I would take Orton, put him on SmackDown, have Del Rio win the title, maybe have a tiny, I don't know, finish up you either have their last match at Extreme Rules. That's their feud ending match. Or you have, but I think really you have to have Del Rio go over there, and you need to have Del Rio go over because you need the heel champion. You need the face chasing for a while, because you've had the faces champ. You had the you had majority of the champions have been heel, but it always works better with the heel as a champion. Last time there was a face as a champion for a length of time was Undertaker before WrestleMania 26. That reign, it didn't really achieve anything. It got the belt off Punk, who was the hottest heel in the company at the time, and you put the belt on Jericho just so that he could face Edge for the world title. I mean, that was a fair enough match. That was one of the better matches on the card in terms of wrestling matches, but it didn't need to be for the world title. I don't think it did anyway. Other than that, it didn't achieve anything as a title reign. And the same with Mysterio. All Mysterio did was he got the title off of Jack Swagger and onto Kane. And what did Kane's reign? None of the last world title reign that achieved anything would be during the CM Punk Jeff Hardy feud. I think that might have been the last time the world title reigns really achieved anything. I think Punk cashing in Money in the Bank on Hardy and winning the title. I think that achieved something. That pushed Hardy, so he looked like the babyface in peril, which is the way he always should be booked to look. He won the title, and then he was screwed over by the heel. It's, that's brilliant booking. Brilliant booking. That's why Money in the Bank is so good. You can put somebody over, you have somebody win the world title for the first time, and then suddenly the guy heel comes in, snatches it away from him. And I love that. I love that booking. That immediately sets up your face to chase the title again. He won the what? Which it gives him the world title reign, and the fans are pissed because this villain comes in and steals the title from him during his moment of glory. He'd worked so hard and so diligently to get that title, and then just to have it snatched from beneath him when he finally gets there, the fans are just like, oh fuck, oh what a bastard, what a bastard. And you immediately set up a program with the face chasing again. You have a blow off to the feud before. The babyface gets over, wins the title, and then you can push it on, and you get the heel to win the title. The heel comes in, takes all of that heat, and just carries it on for however many more months or however long. And then eventually you'd have the face get over the heel at the end, and then he can have his title reign. Simple. It's basic. Basic booking 101. But back to the draft. Orton needs to be face of SmackDown, in my opinion. They need a face. Orton fits. Maybe long term you need to look more at having somebody else come in and take over, or push somebody into the position of face of SmackDown, or maybe somebody sort of just below him. Because Randy Orton has always been a second to John Cena, because John Cena is such a big star. He's such a big star that it's really hard for Orton to shine as much as Orton could. I don't really like Orton as a wrestler or as a face specifically. I only like Orton as a heel because I think he has the look, he has the actual character. He is a person. When I see Randy Orton, I look at this guy and I think this guy's a complete dick. I think this guy is a complete dick. And I think that works for him. So if you're going to go with the gimmick, go with the heel gimmick. Now, whilst he's like doing this whole stupid Austin thing, which really just frustrates me, because it just doesn't work. It doesn't. I don't buy it. I don't buy Randy Orton as a good guy because he's or a badass good guy or whatever, because that's not him. That's not him. He has a similar finishing maneuver, which probably I actually might maybe prefer the RKO to the stunner, because it has you've got that little bit more variety with it. Whereas a stunner, you've got to do the kick and then the stunner. The RKO you can just sort of hit. Literally, you can hit out of anywhere. It's like the super kick. The super kick and the RKO are probably two of my favourite finishes because of they can be so sudden. And just like that, happen just like that, and the match is over. And I like that about the finish of a match, when the match sort of you build to a finish and then all of a sudden boom, boom, hits it, bang, over. I like that. You don't like the slow build, because you know it's coming. Like if you have this is why I don't like the People's Elbows finisher. You have The Rock he hits his spine buster, does all his posturing, and you're like, well, we know you're going to get the pin after this, so why are we even bothering buying into it? Why? You just get your moment to posture to the fans. I mean, yeah, you get the pop, but as a fan watching at home, you're like, oh, well, if I've seen it enough times, it doesn't quite. I mean, I've seen the People's Elbow so many times because I remember The Rock used to use it when I first started watching, back in 2000, and he used it to win pretty much every single match. And you just got sick of seeing the same move over and over again, no matter how over the move was. He just take 10. It's like, he's going to pull the elbow pad off, throw it into the crowd. Whoa. And he takes about 3 minutes to end the match from when he hits the spine buster. Why? Why? It doesn't achieve anything. Why? Why would you do it? It just doesn't make any sense. And it just frustrates me. But that's why I like the arcade as a finish. So Orton should be the face of SmackDown. Orton should go from Raw to SmackDown. Elsewhere in the draft, things I could see happening or would like to see happen. I quite like to see Cody and Ted swap places. I like to see Cody on Raw, and I think Ted might do better on SmackDown because he's having a hard time of things on Raw at the minute. And maybe put him onto SmackDown and let him maybe feud with Kofi or something or on the undercard, and just sort of you don't have to start rebuilding him again. Same with Zack Ryder. I think Zack Ryder could be so over on SmackDown. Because his gimmick is so over with the fans, and he's not a bad wrestler, but he's being jobbed to everyone on Raw. Evan Bourne is another one I'd like to see on SmackDown. On SmackDown, guys that I'd like to see pushed over to Raw. Oh. It's tricky because Swagger I'd like to see on Raw as well as Cody. I think something I would like to see at Extreme Rules would be Cole, because I think with the slap that Cole gave him, can't remember, Raw maybe 2 weeks ago, or was it last week? I can't remember now. But the slap Cole gave him, that if you build on that, then maybe you have another one on the Raw this week, and then you can have another one at the pay-per-view. Well, turn Swagger, turn him face. He comes over to Raw. Cole is basically I've got my boy with me on my show, and then he just turns. Cole sort of takes it one step too far, slaps Swagger. Swagger kills him, and King and JR get the win, and Swagger looks like a badass face. Swagger is a face. Raw needs faces, and if Orton's going to go over to SmackDown, push Swagger as a face. I love Swagger. I love Swagger. I love Ziggler. I like Morrison. I like Rhodes. I like DiBiase. All those guys have potential. Use him. Use them. Use the guy's potential. Push him. Swagger as a face. Ziggler as a heel. Morrison more as a heel. Rhodes as a heel. Maybe DiBiase as a face. Okay, maybe not. But Ziggler losing his hair was the biggest mistake. And I think, now my feeling is that they're going to do something with his brother. They're going to bring, because they signed his brother, and they're going to, his hair's that sort of like short and dark, and I have a feeling that they're going to do something with them. They're going to put them in a tag team or something, which I don't like the idea of. I really don't like the idea of. I do like the idea of Legacy reforming Rhodes and DiBiase. So if Rhodes goes over to Raw or DiBiase goes over to SmackDown, then reforming would be cool. I'd like to see that, because I think that could add some oomph to the tag team division. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I can't really think it at the minute. Oh. We'll see what Show Kong comes onto. I like Mystico on Raw, Cinco or whatever you want to call him. I like him on Raw because I think Raw needs something a little bit different, and I think he adds a bit of depth to the roster, a little bit something different that they don't actually have on Raw at the minute, because they don't have too many high flyers outside of I don't think they have any high flyers outside of Rumble, and I think he could be a main event high flyer. So But yeah, I'm looking forward to the draft. I'm looking forward to kind of. I wouldn't say I was looking forward to Extreme Rules. I'm looking forward to hopefully. Well, I don't care who wins the world title. I'd prefer to see Del Rio win it, but I'd be happy if Christian won it because it would be Vince. Vince would finally have forgiven. Would finally have forgiven well, Jeff Hardy. I was about to say. He'd finally have forgiven somebody for winning the going over to TNA and winning their title, which he's never put the world title or the WWE or the World Heavyweight title on somebody who won the NWA or TNA World title. That's just Vince's way. So there you go. Good luck to WWE with the draft. I really hope you don't fuck us over and give Raw all the good guys on SmackDown and give SmackDown all the rejects from Raw because SmackDown really needs a main eventer right now. Happy Easter, guys.